so much demand now in these times of crisis no other community has ever given in Dubai. So hey guys, this is Saad. I specialize in Damac Lagoons. This is a community with so much demand now in these times of crisis in the Middle East situation. Today I will break down Damac Lagoons completely. This is the only video that you need for Damac Lagoons. Let's dive right into it. So Damac Lagoons is a Mediterranean inspired community which is based on waterfront themed living with crystal lagoons, and this is a community that's gonna give you amenities like no other community has ever given in Dubai. So this is a community like no other. It is spread across 11 distinct clusters with its own unique themes. As you can see behind me, it's located across D54 Sheikh Zayed bin Hamdan Al Nahyan Street and Hessa Street D61, which these two streets are one of the major roads of Dubai. And as you can see, these are 11 different clusters that are in Damac Lagoons. So it is located across Dubai land, in the heart of Dubai land, next to developed communities like Mudon, Damac Hills 1 and Tilal Al Gaf. If you're looking at the distance from this community, it's 25 minutes to most of the places like downtown Dubai International Airport, the new Al Maktoum International Airport as well. This community has a lot of schools nearby. As you can see, most of the schools are British here, like the Jabal Ali School, Fairgreen International School, Global Indian International School, which is 16 minutes drive. So within 20 minutes, you'll find about 5 major schools from this community, and you can see hospitals as well. Aster Medical Center, Mediclinic Parkview Hospital, NMC Royal Hospital, which is 20 minutes drive as well. So the location of this community is extremely amazing. Now let's dive into the clusters and the unit types that you get in this community. So as mentioned, this community has 11 different clusters. As you can see, we have Santorini with 3, 4 and with 5 bed townhouses being as the end units and 3 and 4 beds as the middle units. That's why it says M. And you have 6 bed LV4 and LV3 villas. The total number of units in Santorini clusters are 941. Looking at Costa Brava, you also have 3, 4, 5 bed townhouses, and you also have a 5-bed V3 villa, and you have a 6-bed VD1B villa. And then this cluster has 1052 units. The good thing about this cluster, a lot of people like the color theme because it's quite neat. And going on to the next one is the Nice cluster, which is the third phase that was launched. Here you do not have a 3-bed townhouse. You have 4-bed middle, 5-bed middle, 5-bed end, and a 6-bed V3 villa. And then the total number of units in Nice are 1003 units. Moving on to the next one, you have Portofino clusters, which has a 3-bed middle, 4-bed middle, and then you have 5-bed end townhouses, and then you have a 7-bed VD1 and V75 villa in Portofino clusters. The total number of units here are 874. The 5th phase that was launched, and this is one of the special ones because this Venice cluster is a villa only cluster. You only have standalone villas. You do not have townhouses here. So you have 6-bed V1000, which is the prestigious and most premium villa of Damac. Then you have 7-bed V75 villa. Then you have 6-bed V55 villa, 7-bed VD1 villa, and then 6-bed VD3 and VD4 villa in Venice. And you only have 424 units in this cluster. Moving on to the next one, which is the 6th phase, Malta, inspired by Malta in Italy. Here you have 4-bed middle and 5-bed end units as your townhouses, and then you have 7-bed VD1 villa. Then comes the 4 clusters, Marbella, Monte Carlo, Ibiza and Mykonos. These clusters only have 4-bed middle and 5-bed end townhouses, and you can see the number of units: 610, 425, 824 and 578 units. And then you have a cluster which is quite big in size, quite spacious in size, Morocco, which was launched, which is the last cluster that was launched. You have a variety of units here as well. You have 4-bed middle, 5-bed middle, 5-bed end. You have a 6-bed V55 villa, V1000 villa, and you have 7-bed V75 villa. And the total number of units here are 1024. So the total number of units in Damac Lagoons are 8,882 units. So basically you have in Damac Lagoons, townhouses starting from 3 bedroom going onwards to 5 bedroom, and then you have villas which are starting from 5 bedroom going up to 7 bedroom villas. And of course, like as I said, affordable townhouse clusters such as Marbella, Monte Carlo, Ibiza, and Mykonos, to most premium villa cluster like the Venice cluster with limited units. So just want to show you here. As you can see, this is Morocco cluster, which was launched quite later. Look at the amount of lagoon you have here. And this is the Venice cluster, which is the most premium villa cluster, as I said. Here you only have V4 and V3 villas that are not on lagoons. All the rest of the villas are on the lagoon. So that's why this is one of the most like on the luxurious side of it. Portofino, it's a quite colorful cluster, also quite unique in its own sense. Costa Brava, a large cluster as well. And then you have Santorini, which is centrally located. Let's look at the exits and entry points for Damac Lagoons. You have here D54 Sheikh Zayed bin Hamdan Al Nahyan Street. Currently, this exit as of April 2026 is not yet open to public because of construction going here for Valencia, Piazza Roma, and so on, which is located here. But you will have an entry point and exit point here. That's why Santorini is going to be always in demand, because you have 2 entry and exit points. It's centrally located close to the central hub. And here you have Morocco cluster, you have Hessa Street here. Currently, this is the entrance point which is open to public. So if when you enter from here, on the left you will have Morocco, on the right you have the Venice cluster. And as you drive towards here, this is where your sales center is, right? And here the other side, let's go towards, so we talked about Costa Brava. Then you have Nice cluster, which is also a bit of colorful cluster. Then you have Malta cluster here. And then these are the 4 clusters which I said is townhouses only. Marbella, Ibiza, Mykonos, and Monte Carlo. And then you have lagoons views here, which is basically the apartments that are being built here in the center. So, and then you have a mall here with the Piazza Roma offices and Valencia. And the expected completion is around 2029, 2030 for that. So around 2029, 2030, this community is going to be a community with most of the amenities, access to retails, and the lifestyle you'll get here in the later stages in 2029, 2030, you won't, I don't think you'll get it in any other community. So once this community is complete and developed, there's a lot of scope for this. So we are still in the early stages because only Santorini has started handover as of now, and it's not yet complete. So as the other clusters launch, you will get more amenities, you'll get more access, more people are going to move in, it's going to develop. So it's going to be quite nice later on. So it's still early stages. This is a good time to invest. Now let's move on. So let's look at the launch prices for each of these clusters. Santorini 3 beds were launched at 1.5 million, 4 beds were launched at 1.67 million, 5 beds at 2.1, 6 bed V4 at 3.73, and V3 at 4.1 million. The payment plan was 70-30 with a post handover payment plan. This is the only cluster where Damac has provided a post handover payment plan for this 30 after handover. Looking at the current market before crisis, the 3 beds transactions was around 2.6 plus, going towards 2.8. 4 bed transactions were around 3 million. Single row were even around 3.3 million. The 5 bed middle corner and end corner units, they were transacting at average of 4 million, 4.2 around there, depending on the location and so on, obviously. And then usually the villas, they are not so liquid. So but the 6 bed V4 villas were around 6 million dirhams. So as you can see, the appreciation that these early investors, the first phase, have achieved almost 100% capital appreciation on these. This is a very generalized and average transaction that I'm talking about. Obviously you need to look at the units, the location in the cluster itself, because like if a unit is close to a park or close to, for example, the central hub, then your value increases more. So that's how it is. Looking at Costa Brava, 3 bed at 1.53, 4 bed at 1.7, 5 bed at 2.56. V4, as you can see, it went up to 4.6 million already, and VD1 at 6.2 million. 50/50 payment plan. I don't want to go in details on all these clusters, but basically this you can see how the price went for a 4 bed from 1.66 million. That was the first phase, towards 2.85 million. This is the last phase of Morocco. So that is how the price has increased with the later launches from 1 to 11 phases. And as you can see, later on the payment plan was not so flexible as well, compared to like 70/30, 50/50, and then all these later clusters were 80/20 handover only. Currently, as of now, if you are looking from an end user's point of view, you have good options in Santorini, Costa Brava, because the handover has started. Also Portofino and Malta. The price, if you're looking at Santorini 4 bed, can range from anywhere between 2.8 to 3 million. Because of this crisis situation, it has come down a little bit. And from an investor's point of view, you still have good options here, because if you're looking at, for example, Malta or these other clusters like Monte Carlo, Nice, and so on, you can still get a 4 bed around 2.3 million dirhams, which is a steal deal. Because in Santorini, where townhouses are handed over, prices are not going down below, for example, 2.7 million. That may be the least, and it's difficult to find even a townhouse which is ready to move in for 2.7 million dirhams. When we are looking at, obviously, these clusters being handed over, if you are purchasing at 2.2, maybe after 2 years, easily it can go about 3 million in terms of appreciation. Looking at the rentals, Santorini clusters, 3 bed around 150 plus, 4 bed around 170 plus, depending on single row and so on. Some of the 4 beds have gone up to 220,000 as well. 5 bed over 220,000 as well. That's the rental. So you can see that they are getting 10% plus rental yield. So the property types and units, because as I'm saying, it has a mix of all types of units, townhouses from 3 to 5 bed configurations along all the clusters. You have villas, which is 5 to 7 bed, stand alone and lagoon facing. Design themes, all the 11 clusters have each of its unique design themes, which is really good. And as I said, Venice is the premium clusters with 6 and 7 bed villas only. Morocco is the largest cluster with 1024 units. Marbella and Monte Carlo, and Ibiza, and basically they have only 4 and 5 bed townhouses. They do not have any villas. So why invest now in this community? It's a master community with the best of amenities, perfect for family living. Located at the heart of Dubai land, with access to schools, healthcare, and sports facilities. So Lagoons is competitively priced. If you are looking at communities right next to it, like Damac Hills 1, Tilal Al Ghaf, and obviously you have seen a high rental demand from families here. When the first phase of Santorini was launched, Santorini has about 943 units, of which the first 2 phases were launched. Phase 3 is still outstanding, and over about 400 families have already moved into this community. So the demand is real here, and the early stage pricing offers capital appreciation upside. And obviously the Damac brand, it drives the resale liquidity. So especially if you have townhouses, it's quite liquid here. Now let's compare 4 bed townhouses in Damac Lagoons versus Tilal Al Ghaf Damac Hills to get an idea of how good the prices are currently. So we're looking at transactions for last 3 months for Damac Lagoons for a 4 bed. As you can see, the average price is 2.78 million dirhams, right? And now let's look at this. So Malta 4 bed around 2.95, 2.6, Portofino at 2.8, Costa Brava at 3 million, Marbella at 2.25, Santorini at 3 million. So basically this all depends on like the handover time, the cluster and so on. But as you can see, you still have good off-plan resale options in Marbella at 2.25 million dirhams, while the ready units are transacting on average about 3 million dirhams. Now let's look at Tilal Al Gaf. Obviously the plot sizes, it's quite large here. Built up area, it's going to be similar or slightly higher. But look at the prices here. 5 million, around 5 million is priced for a 4-bed townhouse in Tilal Al Gaf. 3 million, 5 million, huge difference, right? Even though we're looking at plot sizes, I'm not saying that the price is high, but what I'm saying is Damac is still reasonable for affordable living in a good community in a good location. Now let's look at Damac Hills. These are the recent transactions. The average price for a 4-bed is 6 million dirhams in Damac Hills 1, and as you can see the plot size is obviously larger here, but 4.5 million dirhams for a 4-bed with 2000 plot size. For a similar plot size is 1615. The Damac Lagoons, all of the 4-bed plot size is 1550, 1550 square feet plot size, and built up is around 2250, around there. So let's look at this one. 1615 plot size, 1800 built up area was transacted at 3.4 million dirhams, which is still smaller than the Damac Lagoons, but as you can see, the prices are about 4 million dirhams on average for a 4-bed townhouse in the Damac Hills 1. So you're getting a really good option in the Damac Lagoons currently because it's early stages. So who is the Damac Lagoons for? Property investors for strong rental yields, capital appreciation, and trusted developer brand. For end users and families, it's perfect. You've got a lot of amenities, gated community schools nearby. And for holiday homes, for people living abroad that are coming to Dubai for holidays or so on, they can get really good lifestyle when they're here. Gated community, a lot of amenities. So it's really good value for money. Lifestyle and amenities. So Damac Lagoons is basically water-based lifestyle that is based on, obviously you will have parks and dog parks and so on, but mainly water activities, kayaking, paddle boarding, swimming in crystal lagoons. You have health and wellness, open gyms and spas, and retail and dining, schools nearby, obviously. So that's the kind of lifestyle that you'll have. So Dubai's market is moving fast. People are looking for opportunities. The Damac Lagoons is currently the best investment opportunities because it's in early stages, and you will get a lot of options from properties that are handed over to off-plan resale with lower values. So if you are looking for anything in the Damac Lagoons, contact me. I'll provide a free consultation. We can have viewings, have a drive into the community as well. WhatsApp me on the given number and let's connect.